Today I have a mystery track for you, just to test your tracking skills, and a little tracking lesson. This is something that comes in really useful if you're walking through the woods and you want to, let's say you're seeing some tracks go up a far hill. And by learning the gait patterns and the straddle width of different animals, you can sometimes look from quite a distance and identify the tracks. Today I'm just going to focus on straddle width, and I'll illustrate this further in the video, but if I have tracks going along, this is the distance you can measure from the inside or the outside of the tracks. I'm going to measure from the outside. The distance between those, the straddle of the animal, and it has to do with the agility of the animal and the width of its hips. So today we're going to focus on identifying a deer from far away and being able to contrast that with certain members of the canid or dog family, particularly coyotes or foxes. And the way to tell is that even though they might appear to somebody as looking fairly similar from a distance, if you pay attention to the straddle, you're going to notice that deer have quite a wide straddle, where the coyote walks almost in a straight line, and the fox, which I'm not going to show on here, but the fox is almost like it's on a tightrope. It puts its feet right in front of the other foot. Of course, there's immense depth to learning tracking, but this one little trick, starting to identify straddle width, can help you tell from a long way away whether it's a deer or coyote. hopefully that's really evident now, that difference between the straddle width of the deer and the straddle width of the coyote. And again, if you see a fox, it's going to look even more so. Wolves, we have a lot of wolves here, and the wolves have a straddle that approximates the deer. It's pretty wide. However, their tracks are so much bigger that you still can look across a valley and say, that's a wolf, or that's a deer. And of course, getting up and verifying your tracks, very important to do, but it's kind of a cool power to be able to look across the way and say, oh, I bet you that's a deer. Let's go take a look. All right, so that strange slide, that first track that I showed you. If you haven't guessed yet, that was an otter. Very, very playful animal, like the kids back in the distance here. And they like to slide along. So what we were seeing is originally there was some slush on that ice, and they were sliding along on their belly. That creates that long slide pattern. Then they often are going to get up, jump once or twice, and slide again. So when we zoomed in on those tracks in between the slides, that was the otter coming out of the slide, getting some speed again, and going back into a slide. Thank you for watching, my friends. Please, in the comments, share anything else you know about tracking, particularly straddle width, and helping to tell these two families apart, the ungulates and the canids. And yeah, share your insight, your knowledge, your wisdom. Talk with you soon. And of course, let me know if you got the otter.